So we're going to look at making a sort of distressed font. So obviously you can get one off the peg. You can just, get 28 days later font and enjoy that. But you'll find that if you write something with many of the same letter, obviously it's going to fall apart. That illusion of it being just distress is not going to work. So it's fine maybe if you don't have repeating letters. Bad grunge, it's nice, it's lovely. Although the lines, the scratches don't seem to continue through, and so the illusion is not complete. So we're going to try and work on making our own one, similar to this Lupin title, where you can see the lines continue through. I'm just going to go back to font and go to a sans serif and pick something that looks as bold as possible. Akira looks cool. It's a great movie. Just download that and install that. Okay. So we want as much space inside the letters as possible. That's why I'm going for the chunky text as I can get. This one needs a lot of space, it seems. It doesn't actually look that cool, but we'll go with it. Things this is just an example. Big title. The G, there's something unsettling about the G. I'm not happy with it, but we'll go with it for now. And just go to find a texture. So I've gone to unsplash.com's free textures. Now, initially I thought a road texture might be a good place to find scratches and dust, but actually I think we're going to have more luck with something like this. So I'm going to copy that image and just paste it in here, make it a smart object, then run some effects on it. Now I don't need the flower. Much that I like flowers, I don't need the flower today. I'm going to run a levels on it that's just going to push the contrast up because I just want to accentuate those scratches. That's cool, and make it black and white. So I'm kind of keen on this sort of area, I guess, for what we want in our font. We probably won't have enough in this one block to use. Just flatten that. This is destructive editing, but sometimes that's okay. We'll let ourselves do it this time. It's not best practice to be destructive when you're editing things, but it's fast and, when you're just doing quick stuff, it doesn't matter too much. Okay, well, that matches up fairly okay. I'm going to do the flatten them again. So we could just run a multiply effect over that, and it looks fairly good. The problem would come is when we then put something in the background. We're going to have Lovely picture of Chicago. The problem with there is obviously we've still got the scratchy background, so control clicking on the text turns it into a selection, and then selecting the texture on top and hitting the layer mask tool will break that back into having the text just textured, which is great. Let's knock that back for now. I'm just going to make that a smart object and apply a Gaussian blur to it to force it into the background. Okay, what I'd really like to do is have the text cut out where it's been scratched. And I'm not going to get that by selecting that. But I could, if I just disable that layer mask for now so we can see what we're working with, and switch it back to normal. I could try here on this layer, select color range, and then just select the black, the dark areas. Now, that's pretty patchy. It's done some rather odd things. So it's not just selected the layer I'm on, it's selected the city layer as well. I'm going to try just hitting layer mask there. Okay, so it's not done a good enough job at selecting the scratches. Alright. So the other way would be to take this. This is going to potentially be a bit more long-winded. To take this into Illustrator and do a live trace on that, which is going to take a little while because it's not going to love that. Now we only really want the scratches, so I'm getting rid of the half of the black there and any of the bits that are just strokes. Now I don't want these dotty bits, I don't think, and I'm going to just get rid of some of these bits too. It's a little bit too noisy. Okay. All right, now that's a vector shape. Bring them into our big title as a shape layer. Now that's there and can be selected more easily. We can get that where we like it, where we think it looks nice. Anyway, we can do this multiple times. We can stamp it over the text several times if we wanted to. I'm going to select it like that. Then my text selected. I'm going to hit layer mask. I'm going to invert that layer mask. Now I've got that cut through it. Now I'm going to make this noise a bright green so I can see where it is. Let's get another bit of it going across there and another bit there. I'm going to hold Control and click on the layer and hold Control and Shift and click on the other layer so they're both selected. Now I'm going to click on the layer mask here and fill it with a black. Okay. Now you can unlink that layer mask and you can move it around, get it what's working for you best. You can even scale that layer mask. But that means that it's really cut out. If you were to zoom right in, you would see that it's actually a hole through the text. Now the one problem with that would be if you scaled it then the layer mask is vector. So, oh no, sorry, it's not a vector, it's bitmap. So that would distort, but you can see the pixelation there. But you do have the vector source, so you could always remake it before you went too far down that way in Illustrator, or potentially copy that layer, delete the layer mask on that one, get these shape layers back up again, and we had a third one, I think, running all the way across. And then we could make that text layer a shape, convert to shape, select all of them, bring them all together as one big thing, exclude overlapping shapes, do a big old cleanup. And you know, that could take a while, but you get the idea. Big title. So now obviously the text is no longer editable as text, but if you were to scale it, those bits that have been cut out would no longer distort. Although we've got some problems, you'd have to probably better off to do it in Illustrator if you want to get it super clean and nice. Alright guys, there's a couple of different options there. I hope that was useful.